So I'm here with Katrina, moderator for the Code Zone School, and we're getting ready to launch something really cool. What are we getting ready to launch here? What date is it going to be again?
On the 18th, on December 18th, we are going to be launching a coding challenge. And this challenge, it can be done solo. You're also welcome to do it in a team. It's totally up to you. But the challenge is for a prize for the winner of this challenge. And we are doing a CSS Christmas coding challenge where we provide you with some starting code and you polish it and add some flair using CSS and making it look magical.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. So you can either work as an individual or you can work on it as a team. Now, what if I meant, are we doing stuff with like AI? Can I use AI with this, or am I restricted to just my knowledge of HTML and CSS?
You are welcome to utilize AI. AI is a tool and it can help, it can it can hurt sometimes depending on how you utilize it. There will be some grading as to how much of the original structure you maintained. And so sometimes one of the risks with AI is that it will rewrite things and take out features that you don't expect. At least that's been my experience with it. So yes, AI is permitted, non-AI is permitted. We are giving because of the holidays, we're not requiring people to be in teams. We made it a bit of a smaller challenge than I usually run. But with this provided code, we're wanting you to enhance it, modify it, up level it, and for sure get some feedback from AI to do so, to get ideas, and make sure that it integrates in and works properly. Because that's one of the tricky parts with AI is making sure that it integrates and works well with what you've already got.
Yeah. And now, as far as like time wise, what were you thinking time wise that people should even want to spend on something like this?
Yes. So it kicks off on December 18th. In the evening is when we're going to be announcing and providing the code for you to be able to start working on. You won't have access to it until then, until that kickoff meeting, though I might give a sneak peek of code, what the basic structure looks like so you can have an idea. We are going to be utilizing CodePen, which is an online platform that works with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in a way that's easy to share and easy to see right there within the browser. And so the installation is very minimal as far as what you might need. Basically, just a CodePen account, which easy to obtain. The time of requirement for it, depending on your level of expertise, you can like, when I was putting it together, up leveling this can take about an hour of actual time for it. However, we are giving you until Monday, December 22nd to put your work in for it, tweak it, modify it, ask questions because we're gonna be having some extra sessions and some drop-in sessions during that time to be able to work with us and work with others who are also working on this contest. But submissions close on Monday morning, at our weekly session, inside the calendar.
Yeah, perfect. Now, is this your first time running this? Like, what can what can we expect, right, from you? And also, can you give us a few tips on success for you or for somebody trying to complete these challenges?
Yeah, so I've run, challenges with, TechJoy and Joy of Coding for the past couple of years. They React Jam, when I was learning through TechJoy, React Jam came out, and what they did is it was a coding competition, where they gave you 10 days to put something together, a full-on game using React. And I gathered up other people in my class and in my cohort and people who were beyond me, and we're like, "Hey, let's build this together." And from then, every time that they had another session with the React Jam, we gathered more people together and we built various different apps, different games, both some multiplayer mobile games as well as some single player just website browser games. And I have some examples of those I can post in the group of their work 'cause it's beautiful. And then We ran it again the next month and had 3 more wonderful apps that came out of it. So, I've been running challenges for the past couple of years. I really love it, and like, it lights a fire in me to be able to put these together. They're so fun, and I'm super excited to bring them here to the Code Zone. This one, because of the holidays, we are shrinking the amount of work that it goes into it. We're not starting from 0, we're starting from an established piece of code, and we're just up leveling it and taking it to the next step and putting your extra flair onto it. And so it won't be as drastic as a 7-day coding challenge or a 10-day coding challenge that I've done in the past, but it should be just as fun and just as interesting to see the result at the end.
Yeah. Now, what about like skill level? I remember we were talking about skill level as far as did somebody fresh, not knowing a whole lot, still benefit from entering in something like this versus somebody that knows a lot?
Absolutely. As far as skill level goes, it's just the time for the completion of it. So if you are earlier on in your learning of CSS and working with CSS and HTML, give yourself more time to work on it. Come to the sessions. Come hang out in the group. Ask questions and say, "Hey, how do I do this?" And we'll help guide you in getting it done within a time frame. That weekend that we've given for this contest is plenty enough time for you to make some visual changes there, even if you've never seen CSS before. There is a template that's already in there of some starter CSS that you can play with and tweak and see, well, what happens if I change just this element? What does it look like? And so you can explore and learn so much by being hands-on in this code that we're providing and seeing the results immediately pop up in CodePen. So really easy for those who are coming in. Just give yourself more time, give yourself more of the days to work with it and to play with it and to ask questions so you have enough time to get feedback back so you can move forward. For those who are experienced, who are used to CSS and so forth, it might only take you an hour to really whip something up together and make it your own and really bring in the holiday spirit into your submission.
Yeah. And I really like what you just said, which was if you're new or even if you are experienced, you can also always ask questions in the group and get those questions answered. So it's not like you are left stranded. You brought up a great point with, trying out the CSS. And
Mm.
I've always told students as well is it's okay to break things and test things
Yes.
out. Right. Like that's how you really learn is by breaking something and then
Mhm.
fixing it. Even if it's the undo button.
Yeah,
But yeah,
one of the key things for problem solving and for learning is observing. What happens when I remove this line of code? What changes? Well, then you know what that line of code did. Because if it's no longer doing it after you've removed it, oh, well, that's what that code did. That's actually how I learned React to begin with, is, when we did that first React project, I didn't actually know React at that point. I started the React Jam project because I wanted to learn it. And luckily, my good friend, Dr. Suzanne Atkinson, she came in and she helped out and she was the main engineer for it. And so we worked together on a team with it and we were able to together build out this beautiful game. It's a little dice game based off of Pass the Panda, if you've ever heard of that game. Anyway, we had a lot of fun putting it together. And my role is I would read the code that she would push, and I would test the code and read it alongside and say, "Okay, well, this code makes this change," and I would just compare them. And through that, I was able to learn a lot about it, and I was able to then take that information and add a pop-up and be able to work with it to add in our credits page. And that's what I did for it. And then from then, 2 sessions later, I was coding it solo. And I went and created my own solo app for it. So it is a fantastic way of getting hands-on experience and really being able to give yourself the opportunity to read and test and just play with it.
yeah, I think it's gonna be fun. I mean, you get to interact with people that are in this group. You
Mm.
get to showcase your work. You get to publish your work and show your friends and family. And then you even get the opportunity to win a prize for doing it. So it's like no matter how you look at it, it's like win, 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 win when it
Mhm.
comes to, doing this challenge. And we want to have a lot of challenges throughout the months, but I feel like it's a really good way to learn something is by putting your skills to the test,
Mhm.
and then it's a proud moment when you share your work, you have other people looking at it, and so it should be something that's not like you're scared to show it, like that you wanna put in a junk drawer. It's gonna be something that you wanna be proud of, and even when you're starting out, I you know, and this is coming from the instructor point of view, is that you can take a look at somebody's early code and where they were day 0, and then look at them 6 months later, and you can see an improvement from that work back then to the work
Mhm.
now. And so it's a real good, like, little save point for you to put in, like, if you're doing a scrapbook, right, of your memory and your journey of coding. It's a great point to kinda put in there.
Not only that, but projects like this can be showcased on LinkedIn. It can be showcased as, "Look, this is what I started with, and this is what I ended," and so you can have that before and after so they can clearly see what you did and what changes you made, and because when you're just given a website, you're like, "What part of this did you actually do?" And when you're working with a larger team, it can be hard to tell, how much of this did they actually do themselves? And again, doing themselves, AI is part of that process because there is a learning curve to utilize AI properly in order to be able to do some things too. So, uh, now one of the things that we were talking about potentially doing and is when we have the project submitted, I believe we were going to do a live judging of it, of kind of getting feedback and giving reviews as to what we see and how we're interacting with it. Is that right, Rob?
Yeah, where we're going to all be able to meet on a Zoom and go through it. And like I said, it's supposed to be like a real proud moment for you to show your work off. We're putting a face with a project, and it's something that you're very proud of. And I also, we're also going to make part of the judging a public thing where others can help vote and boost your project to try to edge it over for the win of the contest, right? But
Mhm.
obviously the end goal is for you to be happy with what you made, and for it to be something that you'll remember, b post about, and c you can even maybe put it on your portfolio.
Mhm.
That's always a goal with anything that we do. And it's in our learning journey.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Rob. I'm super excited to be able to have a contest here in the Code Zone and be able to work with your amazing coders. And ah, I think it's just going to be a ton of fun, and I'm super excited for it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm excited too. I'm excited to see what everybody's going to be making, because it's going to be fun, and it's going to be something that you can take away and show somebody, and you're going to be amazed at what you can create with a short amount of time.
Mm.
Also, yeah,
You're so excited. You're falling out of your
I
seat.
know, I know. I'm a defensively seat right now. Just trying to go over what we're going to be experiencing here for the code zone. So cool. Yeah, I
Awesome.
can't wait. Can't wait.